Hey, it's Joshua Vergara. What's going on, everybody? And we're here to give a bit of commentary and just to have a discussion about this trend that we've been noticing in 2018's flagships. The fact that color seems to be a feature again. And by that we mean that color is no longer something that you just sort of gloss over because the manufacturers themselves are paying very deep attention to the way that their phones actually look. More so than in recent years, it seems. So the obvious question here that we would be posing to you, and we encourage you to let us know what you think in the comment sections down below, is if color truly matters to you when it comes to selecting a smartphone. And if so, why? And it's funny because when I was thinking about this topic, I can actually kind of pinpoint when this shift was starting to happen. It was at Mobile World Congress 2017. Huawei was bringing out their P10 and they were really pushing to have so much exposure in Barcelona at the time that they had this huge, almost overcrowded, press conference, and it was there that they brought on one of their partners, Pantone. Now, Pantone is a thought leader and expert on when it comes to colors, and they are the ones who generally designate the top color for that year. Basically, they're telling you what's hot. And the representative from Pantone proceeded to be on stage for a long amount of time, just talking about why the color blue and the color green, or in Pantone's case, greenery, was the top color of the year, and why it was great to have those on a smartphone. It was really hard to watch. And the P10 turned out to be a pretty great phone, but that presentation is something that kind of just sticks into your memory after it has happened. But what we didn't realize at the time was that Pantone's representative was basically telling us what's going to happen for the next year or so in smartphone design. That shift has made for a pretty exciting year so far, and it kind of makes sense why manufacturers are trying a lot harder with their smartphone designs. When you have a full screen experience up front with maybe a notch, which is another trend we'll not get into right now, and there's no headphone jack, which is, again, another trend, but we're not focusing on that right now. And the marriage of form and function seems to be the same here as it is on plenty of other flagships. What do you do to differentiate yourself? Well, the answer is, as it turns out, color. And I think the reason why this is a big deal to a lot of people is because they're craving that choice. And they're also craving something that's unique. And of course, having a different color of a smartphone that otherwise does all the same stuff as the original models means that there's something, that little thing that's different about it. Users crave choice. That's one of the reasons why Android is so popular. But smartphones are also now very ubiquitous. That means that smartphones are basically extensions of ourselves. And by choosing something that is unique and different, it kind of reflects upon the user. Just earlier this year, the Samsung Galaxy S9, the 9th iteration in a phone that we all expect to be pretty good every year, introduced a lilac purple. Now, they've done different colors before, but for some reason, this different shade of purple that, again, was Pantone's best color of the year for 2018, became the hot ticket item. Even here at Android Authority, it's still the version that we look back on and want to have as a daily driver, if at all possible. And then of course we don't even really have to talk much about Huawei's contribution in this with their P20. There's the P20, the P20 Pro that comes in a few different gradients, which has itself become a trend as well, and those gradients look different from the rest, in particular the Twilight Edition that everyone in the comment sections loved. There's one more example that I can put out there, and it's a fairly recent one that does even more than just change the color of the backing. HTC's U12 Plus. HTC is even taking it a step further, really kind of embracing the whole idea of a translucent backing that lets you see what's underneath it, and that's exactly what they did with the blue version, the transparent blue version, or translucent blue version rather, of the HTC U12 Plus. It makes it very clear to the user which one they really want, and they wouldn't be able to make that choice so enthusiastically if in the first place there weren't any choices like those to begin with. And that's the trend that we're noticing this year. We don't know what's going to come with, let's say, the Pixel 3 or the Note 9 or any of the other flagships that we're going to be seeing in the next number of months leading to the end of 2018, but it seems that there's an ebb and flow happening, and right now we're in the flow of color. So with that in mind, we are putting out a few polls asking you to tell us if color really matters to you in your smartphones, and you can also tell us why depending on what platform you're using. As a matter of fact, down in the comment sections down below, I want to hear all of the different opinions. Why color matters to you, why certain colors seem to have more hype than others, because certainly there are different colors of every phone every year. Why is it only now that we're starting to really notice? And of course, you can head over to the polls and to the comment sections in general, and then remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell over on the side so that you are informed of every time that Android Authority puts a video up. From there, drop us some likes on this video, as well as your comments, and then head on over to AndroidAuthority.com and use the Android Authority app on the Play Store so you can keep up with everything that we're doing, because we are, of course, your source for all things Android.